Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I'm Stip and this is going to be part 50 of my early campaign run playing as England. And this is the episode where we are going to be going to war with the Danes. I think that this is going to be our best opportunity to do this. The king is isolated, he is here in Toulouse, he's besieging our ally, the Aragonese. And the thing is that all we need to do is clear war, and then his influence, his ability to have any sort of public order influence, or is it going to be loyalty? I think it's going to be general loyalty, really, that's going to be taking the hit. And that's not going to be reaching any of his wide-reaching realm, whether it's here in Iberia, or North Africa, or up here in Northern and Eastern Europe. All of those places are not going to be receiving his influence, really. The benefit of his influence, because they're going to be cut off due to our navies. Now, typically in instances like this where I know that I'm about to initiate a war, it is best to sort of get my navies all grouped together in places where that they're going to be winning their engagements and then avoiding the engagements that we can't win. Like for this, for instance, like I think that they have 2 caravels, correct? Yeah, so this is a place where I should be leaving this. And I probably could be a bit smarter about this, but the thing is that if we just kind of leave everything where it's at, then we're going to guarantee that the Danes are going to be getting a lot of their stuff cut off, right? And I think that we can win a lot of these fights if they attack us. Now, I think that I have gone over this a little bit, but the way that I'm organizing my fleets in the late game, and something that I want to do going forward, is by, trying to minimize things a little bit by keeping just 2 boats of my tier 1s coastal boats in each of my coastal regions. And then in the deep sea regions, have my tier 2 boats, the caravels, just as a presence here. And they can obviously kick out and reinforce when and if needed. And then the Catholics do have these carracks, which is it's a fantastic tier 4 boat unit, which the Orthodox and the Muslims don't have access to tier 4s. But we have these carracks, and they have a speed of 3, which is pretty decent, attack of 6, which is amazing, defense of 3, and they're going to be our strike force. The caravels can maintain that position in these deep sea regions, where the caravels can, of course, strike out and win fights in places, like here, for instance. And then back home, I have my cogs, my tier 3s. Now they're slower. They have a speed of 2, whereas the carracks have a speed of 3. So they're going to be kept home, guarding my home territories, my home coastal regions. I think, do I have them here? No, I don't have them here, guarding my coastal regions here, so that's a little bit haggard. Can I even build them out here? No, I can just get tier 2s, and I can get my, tier 2 caravels out here as well. Okay, yeah, that's something I probably should have, got around to doing at some point. And can I sink these gosh darn Byzantine boats? There's a 2-star galley here, and then I have 2-star barks. 2 versus 2. Don't like those odds, so let's not fight it then. And there's a Dromon here. What's the command stars? 2 command stars, and I have a 0 command star. 2 barks, so I'm bringing on the carracks. Got it. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Then caravels, 3 stars versus a caravel and a caravel. 1 2-star, 1 1-star. Yeah, a little bit dicey. A little bit dicey. But I'm not going to, you know what? For once, I'm going to try to not overthink the naval stuff. And come what may. Now, it's my understanding that there does seem to be a defender's advantage in naval conflicts. So that might not go so bad for me. Certain fights I might still obviously lose, like the one here in the Gulf of Lions, but overall I feel like we should be okay. And am I still building boats? I'm not building boats. What about Wessex? Wessex gets the the higher valor cogs. Let's keep building some cogs here in Wessex. And then the other thing is that if I can't clear up these engagements, do I have boats in the Irish Sea? Oh yeah, right there, right in front of my face. And so it's tempting to go on the offensive here in these territories because otherwise my forces in Ireland are going to get cut off. So again, that would probably be smarter for me to do something about that. But you know what? We're going to have fun. So maybe just kind of leave them there. A lot of stuff here is stuff that I still intended to disband at some point, but I'm just kind of grabbing stuff from these armies and making new armies as I go, as I need them. You know, I did lose a full stack out here in Antioch or maybe Edessa, you know, not too long ago. So I'm not beyond needing armies, and especially with this big war coming up. You know, the thing is that what I really like about the wars, the big wars in this game, is that they can be decisive. They don't have to be grindy. It's just a very nice thing that if you choose your engagements wisely, like this could be a wise engagement, then it could be resolved quickly. You know, you see this and you think, oh my God, the Danes are powerful. You see their navies and you think, oh my God, the Danes are powerful. You see their territories and you think, oh my God, how am I going to, you know, stop all this? But as we've seen with the Poles, you know, twice down this campaign, without me really having to do much other than place agents in the right places, and maybe that wasn't even that big of a deal either. Maybe my agents didn't even do that much. Maybe they did a little bit. But as you can see, it's hard to maintain big empires, as it should be. You know, it's hard. So I really like that. Yeah, that's just a really nice thing in this game, as opposed to Rome, you know, where it's like, man, you win these fights, and you know, and you kill these generals, and you kill the faction leaders, and you're just kind of left thinking, like, what was the point of that? You know, like I killed so many of their guys, killed the faction leader, and that meant nothing. I just have to kill another army just as big, troops just as good, a general just as amazing, and I can take another settlement, but it doesn't mean anything until they're done with. And it's like, damn, that's tough. Whereas in this game, you can really, you know, if you make the right moves, you can really have these decisive engagements, which is really nice. It's really just rewarding, you know? So this could be a rewarding move. Again, my king needs the influence. He's having a rough time. And if Prince Edward is going to be his heir, I think it is. I think that Henry might be too close in age. I can't remember. Well, no, it would be Stephen, right? Yeah, Stephen's 26. The king is 35. So, right. That has to be his brother, right? And so Edward must be his son. So that gives us, what, 13 years to try to get my king's influence up to a respectable amount before Edward becomes of age, because it is the king's influence which determines the stats and the value of the son as he comes of age. So this isn't just for like the present of maintaining our region now and making sure that my people are loyal now. It's also for the future and trying to make sure that our future king also has a chance of, you know, maintaining some respect and loyalty of his troops and his generals. So I do have a princess, and I haven't forgotten about her. She's still young. She's 18, so I don't need to kind of rush her into anything. I've looked around at my generals, and I feel like we're looking okay on loyalty. There's a few questionable ones up here. Not you, but not you, but not you. Well, there's a couple. Yeah, there's a 2 loyalty guy, which I could consider marrying him off to my princess to raise his loyalty by a bit. And there's a 4 loyalty guy here as well. And a 3 loyalty guy there. Those are the lowest ones. And sure, you know, you could make the argument that that's worth doing something about. But then again, I mean, what? So if those 3 stacks wanted to rebel, so what? You know, like, there's all this. And the thing is that I feel like wouldn't they need a family member, someone of royal blood to lead that rebellion, that civil war? So it can't be either of these 3 guys, because none of them are married into the family and they don't have that ring. You know, so I feel like we're going to be fine there, unless there's like someone else that could lead that civil war. I'm keeping Prince Stephen nearby because he could be that guy, right? Yeah, 2 loyalty is awful. That's bad. Jesus. Yeah, that is bad. And let me just double check down here. Let me just double check. Yeah, 4 loyalty is a little bit dodgy, and he is, so yeah, that's a man. That is a guy that potentially could, you know, do something. He's married into the family. He's probably like an uncle or something. And yeah, 3 command stars, 4 loyalty, not great. I can't now. Yeah, I can't have him get married again. What, to his niece? No, that's not how we do. That's not how the English do things, right? No. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, because that's a potential problem for sure, especially once the king's influence gets cut off from there. And that is something that I'm going to be having to keep an eye on here. There's certain mechanics in this game that I've probably, you know, witnessed before, and then I just kind of like forgotten or misunderstood. And this is going to be one of them, which is that it's my understanding that king's influence, like when he gets low influence, and I've observed this more so in other factions, kings, when they lose influence, when they like have a crusade fail, which is that if their generals are fine, then they remain fine. It's just that the new people that are recruited, you know, each unit has a captain, and it's going to be those captains and potentially generals if they come with some command stars. It's them who are going to be low loyalty, not the people that already exist. That has been my understanding of how this works. However, in situations where we have our king's influence cut off from our current people and armies and generals and troops and whatnot, captains, does that lower their influence? And I guess this will be a chance for me to remind myself of whether or not that's true or not. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be lowering it. That's why I'm kind of keeping an eye on things right now, just to kind of see where things are at. That way maybe I can maybe notice, you know, like he has 6 loyalty. Sir Thomas Camoy. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, you have 4. You have 1 million, so you're fine. And I haven't forgotten about the Byzantines up here in Edessa and Antioch. But again, you know, they don't want to attack. I mean, you guys, well, you can attack me if you want. I lowered my garrisons by even more. I'm just doing a royal knight, a feudal knight, and a longbowman. So it's even less men than before. And the Byzantines are running out of dudes. Luckily for them, they don't seem to be too threatened. Luckily for them, the Italians are distracted by a war against the papacy and the Germans. The Germans just have, yeah, they just have Bohemia. Okay, so they're not that much of a threat. Yeah, the Byzantines could be next on the Italians' target list if they're not careful. Because they've lost a lot of troops fighting me. And for, you know, for what? You know, they've accomplished nothing. So take that, Byzantines. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll just keep our Tripoli army stationed here, and we'll keep an eye on these guys, and we'll come to the rescue if we need to. This is going to be another 4 turns, so another 5 turns in reality is what that means. So I don't need to, you know, get up there until a couple turns from now. So that is going to be okay. And yeah, you have 1 million influence, even though you just... What have you accomplished? What have you done to earn that? Come on. Come on. All right. So I'm not going to... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any naval attacks. It's kind of lazy, but... you know, that's... Yeah. Why they call me Lazy Khan. All right. That's what they call me. So... Let's see, was there something else? I'm going to be gaining influence from him. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to take a look at. You, Sir Hubert Bassett. 5 stars, which is solid. Skilled attackers, a +1 command on attack when attacking. So he's going to be 6-star general. That's good, right? Most charitable, yeah. Dead drunk. Okay, so that's a little bit worrisome. So he is mostly bedridden, but occasionally his retainers strap him to a horse and lead him out, which is weird because he's a chivalric men-at-arms captain, so he shouldn't be on a horse at all, ever. But there you go. And then his retainers are fairly competent now at making decisions for him. -20 health. And this is just kind of like a funny one. I mean, it's sad. But, so like, this is the end of the drinking trait line, right? And we've seen that throughout this trait line, you know, they lose command stars and they lose acumen. And if this is the last one of that line, unless it's like a different line, which I don't think it is, it's funny because does that indicate that he got his command stars and his acumen back because his retainers are just kind of doing his job for him? So the only downside is the minus 20 health, which is a downside that, you know, that makes him very much easier to kill. You know, just have to blow him over. A swift breeze. Yeah, we'll go with that. A stiff breeze will blow him over. There you go. And yeah, maybe we'll go with Lord Berkeley instead. You know, in a unit of Royal Knights. I like having Cav as my generals. It feels better. Be more mobile. 5-star general. Natural leader. And no mercy, so that's -1 morale. But you get +2 morale for natural leader. You get +3 morale for gentle knight. That's a net gain of +4, you know, with the no mercy. Not bad with the 5 stars. I'm leaning in that direction. That's what I'm thinking. And one other thing I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, do I even need to start a war? Like, do I even need to invade Toulouse? Because, you know, I could just start a war with the Danes by attacking them on sea, but I do want to defend the Aragonese. That is the thing. And I feel like the Danish king should not be able to, like, get away from this. But there might be a sneaky little thing that the AI can do, maybe. I feel like I've heard about that. I don't know if I've witnessed it, but I feel like the AI might be able to escape certain situations that they should not be able to. But we'll see. Let's just do it. That's enough dilly-dallying. So, yes, the region is claimed, but the Danes who are currently neutral, do you wish to wage war against them? Yes, I do. Take that, Danes. And yeah, do I want to do anything against them on the seas? I guess I could attack something. I guess I can attack that boat, and yeah, we'll attack we'll just do the obvious fights, like the ones that are just like clearly in our favor. I think that the real wild card here is going to be the Italians, because they still do have a formidable presence here on the map. And although they are not currently at war with the Danes, they are allies with the Aragonese, and they want to be my allies. They've asked many times. The only thing keeping them from you know, that being the case is their war with the papacy. The papacy is my ally. And then speaking of the papacy, I have to imagine, I mean, the Danes have more territory than me. On paper, they are probably stronger than me. I mean, I'm looking at these stacks here in Cordoba, and I'm thinking, you know, they have some military force. And their navy, too. I was just looking at their navy and thinking, like, this is going to be a tougher fight than I might initially be anticipating. In fact, I should probably just build boats, like replacement boats. Caravel. I'll finish building that Serpentine and then get another Caravel after that. And yeah, I'm getting cogs going in Wessex, and then maybe... Yeah, Carracks. Yeah, maybe do some Carracks in Normandy. Sure. Yeah, barks. Yeah, I guess I should get some barks. Wales, get some caravels. And that's, yeah, let's get a bark in there. Yeah, so let's just do it, because I'm going to be losing boats. I'm looking at their navies and thinking, yep, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough scrap. So I'm excited. I'm excited. As long as we don't lose as long as we don't lose him, you know, that's the important part. So let's drop this save and let's check this out. We're going to be getting a fight in Toulouse, and again, they should not be able to retreat. My navies should be blocking that escape route unless there's some like little shenanigans that they can pull. So we'll be seeing about that. What's going to be? What's going to be? Yeah, the Danes are moving up to Castile, and here we go. So, okay, my forces and the enemy forces. What about the Aragonese? Are the Aragonese not sallying out? Are you joking my ass? Seriously? Okay, fine. I mean, I do outnumber them, and yes, I do have a better general than their king. Although I didn't check out his... Yeah, you can't see his stuff. You don't know. I can't tell what his traits are, but... In any case, 3 stars, and he is going to have 2 pieces of artillery, a ballista, and a bombard, 2 of the more useless pieces of artillery in the game. And then, honestly, like, not a bad melee push. You know, I feel like a lot of armies in the late game, or just at any point in the game, really, seem to be really missile heavy. And it's refreshing to see a good melee push here, because the melee push is that's honestly like the most effective, at least against me. It's probably the most dangerous type of comp to bring against me, because I try to bring balanced army comps that, you know, utilize different forces, you know, of the arms, and just kind of stuffing me back is usually the best way to beat me. So this has a chance, you know, this has a chance of doing that. I am seeing these 3 Royal Knight units, including the king, and 2 heirs. So we can really, you know, kill some Danish family here if we do okay. And then 2 feudal knights, and then a damaged chivalric knight, but not that damaged. 34 men is still solid. And then a 35-man unit of studentes. Okay. All in all, though, a pretty decent. What is that going to be? 6 units of heavy cav? Yeah, that's not bad. And then halberdiers. So they're solid. They're a solid unit. I don't want my chivalric knights or my general to be fighting up against them, because they're going to have their bonus versus cav. I think they have a +3 attack and +1 defense against cav, and then they have the bonus versus armor. They're very good cav killers, but they're heavily armored. Do you think that's a good thing? It is, but on the attack, well, shit, I'm on the attack. On the defense, they're going to be just fine. They don't have to move anywhere, but they could get tired easily. That's what I was trying to say. And then Vikings, yep, solid tier. I mean, tier 1, very solid for a tier 1 unit. Bonus versus armor, arbalesters, handgunners, nothing too scary about that. And then chivalric men-at-arms, a solid sword unit, basic archers. And then for reinforcements, more Vikings, obvious crossbows, and some damaged units. So not too much in the reinforcements. I don't have to worry about it like another league of heavy cav. I just have to kind of get through the first stack and we should be good. So I don't have the serpentines for this fight. I'm just going to be using the culverins again. And we will see. The culverins didn't do too well in my fight against the Byzantine cav push. So here we're against a Danish cav push. And yeah, we're going to find out how they do. Now, this could be a pretty good map for this. Oh, I don't know. It could be a good map for either of us because they have the wide open plain, but I am the attacker here. And it's not completely wide open. You know, there's, you know, trees. So I'm going to have one gun here and then the other gun on the other side. Now, this gun's going to be a little bit tricky here. I don't know exactly. Here I am I'm preparing for Empire Total War. No, just kidding. It's going to be a few more years. But yeah, this is me trying to get line of sight, kind of peeking between the trees, seeing if I can actually get an angle here. And I guess we'll find out. I think it should. I think there's a little bit of a volley to it. I don't think it just goes straight. Hopefully not. Otherwise, I think it might be shooting that hill if it goes straight. But I think it needs some air, I think. And gun placement is interesting. First off, you can't move them after they've been placed. Fun. And then, but secondly, you know, you have to like kind of guess where the enemy is going to be. And, you know, when you're on the attack, you can't move them forward. So you have to get range on the enemy from the placement. So the question then is, do you keep the guns together? You can really maximize damage in a certain section of the battlefield if you do so, or do you spread them out? A lot of times when I do that, just one gun just ends up not being used because, you know, the Danes could just be over here and then this gun just never gets used, or vice versa, right? And that never feels good either, right? But yeah, just, you know, just trying stuff. And I feel like I must have been playing as, the defender a lot because I just forgot. Like, oh yeah, the attackers can't place your people where you want them. So I'm going to be running forward as fast as goddamn possible to protect my guns because, yeah, I can't do that here. All right, so here we are. Go up here like that and just get going. Here and then here. And then here. And shit, everyone run because it looks like they're charging. Shit, yeah, they're charging. God damn. Shoot. Shoot, volley, fire. And then, yep, you guys go here, and then you guys go here, and... Come on, hurry. Fucking hurry. And at this point, don't even... Shit, I don't even want the guns. Pikes first. Pikes go first. And is it already starting to rain? Perfect. I picked fine weather, and it's already raining. Love it. Love it. So, are they going to turn back? That's what I thought, you filthy knights. You. Get away from me. And, yeah, you guys, if you can pick off their king, that'd be the funniest thing ever. And are you actually killing stuff, or are you just kind of missing stuff? Shoot at those field lights if you can. They're kind of dead center. And then let's get... Ooh, oh, hit the bodyguard right there. Damn straight. What are you guys doing? You guys gonna charge in my billman in the forest? Love it. Love that decision. And yeah, you guys come over here. And yeah, it's not gonna go great for you. Can you guys not shoot? Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm not the biggest fan of how the weather really does change just all the time. And I've complained about this before. I don't want to, you know, you've heard it before, I'm assuming, if you've been around the channel. So, but yeah, it just changes. It changes too much. It changes too much so that you can't even get the weather even for a little bit. Like, it's one thing if the weather changes, you know, like after, I don't know, 10 minutes. Then if my fine weather went against me and I was like, ooh, my plan didn't work. Okay, I get it. Like, that's fun. But to pick fine weather and then it just immediately just being a downpour, it's like, that's kind of haggard, you know? Because, you know, if you're choosing gunpowder and then you can't use your gunpowder because the weather changed, it's like, damn, that's... you know, like, guns already aren't strong in this game. You know, like, if you're choosing gunpowder, if you're choosing, you know, guns or naphtha throwers or something, you're already choosing some off-meta shit. So, it's really tough. It can be really tricky. Man, we're still dialing in these guys from all the way back here. That's not, I like that. I like having this culverins. Just pick things off back here. Shit, we can even hit all the way up there. Oh, man. Ooh. Ooh, do I want to do that? Just hit those knights on the top of the hill? Why not? They're just sitting there. And, yeah, do I advance right now or do I wait? The rain should stop, right? So I could just wait for the rain to stop, but then again, I could just move forward and... assuming the rain's gonna stop. That's what commanders do, right? They just assume that everything's gonna go their way. Yeah, that's what a good general does. Man, you gotta love it when the AI just stacks all of their units on top of one another, and then your cannons can't hit them. It's the most frustrating thing ever. Seriously, come on, guys. I mean, that cannon's actually like... you know, got some kills. Oh yeah, the bombard's up there. Can the bombard not shoot right now? Is it anything? Seriously, no one's gonna hit that blob? They just stacked... just have like 3 knights unit. They're bringing up another unit of halberdiers. There's infantry there too. And my culverins can't hit them. Come on. Oh my god. Well, my cannons are out of ammo, but I did wait for the rain to stop, so let's go ahead and make our push now while we still can. Because most of their units did retreat back up to the hill, but we can make our push now, and yeah, we'll see if they want to take this fight. We'll see about it. We have our longbowmen in reserves, and then right behind them we can have our cav dudes. And I don't have any backups to bring in, so yeah, once they're out, they're out. And yeah, that bombard's shooting now. I don't like that. But I mean, it can't, you know, pivot or anything, so the best thing for me to do is to just march into the only field of fire that I can actually shoot, right? That's what I should be doing. Watch their accuracy just like destroy me. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, you guys in range? Can you guys shoot? Not quite. Alright, just a little bit further. And yeah, these guys can shoot. There you go. Fire, reload, fire. And they're in range now. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Now our guns can start unleashing it. Yeah, there we go. We picked a guy off there. And they're bringing down their handgunners. That's what they need. That's what's going to turn the tide here. Some more guns. I love the rotating fire. It's so goddamn cool. And that better not hit me. God damn it. That hurt a lot. That killed 4 of my pikemen. You bastards. You... Alright, well... Let's see here. Do they want to charge my gun? No, they don't want to charge my guns. They're like, no, we can't. Those guns are too powerful. We cannot do anything about that. So they've decided to bring down their genites instead. Perfect. God damn it, guys. And there we go. Now our longbowmen are killing their genites. Perfect. That's what I like to see. I feel like that bombard's killing more of my guys than we were able to kill of them. But we're still slow pushing up here. That's one weakness of this army cap. You know, when I put in those cannons, that means I just don't have any room for light cav. And yeah, not having light cav, for me that feels very restrictive because I love having my light cav. It just a tactical arm. It just does so much for you. You know, routing off enemy units, kind of attacking their artillery or their range units or whatever. It's just very, very good to have. But for these army comps, for these late game army comps, my enemy's gun. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, their bombard exploded. Yeah, I feel like it's about goddamn time. Fucking killed enough of my guys before that happened. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's chivalric knights. They can do the role of cav, but yeah, light cav are nice. They're pretty fancy. And here we are, taking in some royal knights with our guns and our archers. How about that? Now that unit of royal cav has been driven off, let's start to pivot our guys this way, because it looks like they have kind of a concentration on that side. So let's push up here. And then once we've made that push, in fact, you don't need to go that far. I see some knights up there. And yeah, once we've made that push, then I will feel comfortable just kind of going out there with a unit of knights and taking out that ballista. Once I know they're not going to get jumped on by a bunch of angry knights. Because yeah, it looks like a lot of them are over here, so we're looking pretty good so far. And I did just remind myself as well that the Danes are probably, since we're assuming that they cannot retreat, then they're probably going to be getting that morale buff, right? That kind of almost near unbreakable morale buff that units get or armies get when they can't retreat. Because this is kind of do or die for them, right? So yeah, it's yet another situation, kind of like the one I found myself in before against the Byzantines. In that case, it's just because they had a god tier general where the enemy wouldn't break. And for an army camp like my own that uses, gunpowder and cannons and stuff to kind of break enemy morale, well, guess what? When you're up against a guy that, an army that doesn't break, that's kind of a tricky thing. So we might be kind of faced with a similar situation in this battle. However, I'm somewhat surprised so far that we haven't received the same, bonsai charge from their 6 heavy cav units that we received from the Byzantines. And that's interesting. That kind of, to me, I wonder if that indicates like just kind of a difference in the generalship, whereas in the sense that of the Byzantine fight, that general knew that he was, insane. Like he knew how good he was. And so they fought like that. They were really aggressive and they really fought with that aggression. Whereas this fight, like, they don't know how good they are. They just know that they're desperately, you know, like they have to survive kind of deal. So yeah, it might be kind of a different mindset in that sense. But here we are. We're getting a charge now. We have our billmen fighting their chivalric men-at-arms. It's not a great fight for us. In fact, let's try to get our guns back here. Maybe we can kind of shoot into them, or we might just beat them. Yeah, since our guys are actually winning quite handedly. Actually, you guys have good armor values. Yeah, you have decent armor values. And pikes maybe can push up and can maybe fight some Royal Knights in the forest, which maybe will be a good fight for us. And arquebusiers are looking for a home. Classic. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, pikes first in fighting Royal Knights. Says they're easily winning. I kind of doubt that. Guns can shoot into the flanks there. And then, do we still have ammo in our longbows? Kind of. A little bit, maybe. And we'll just kind of post up here on our left flank. Looks like we're taking some fire from their archers, but we'll just take it like Englishmen. And billmen kind of get a rear charge here on these Royal Knights. And then guns go back up to the front. Or not, because they do have field knights that are thinking about charging us. And then billmen, what are you guys doing? Just kind of hanging out? Yeah, you guys can hang out. That's fine. It's a good army to be in if you want to hang out. We're the hangout army, so yeah, don't feel too pressured to like get into combat. No, not at all. And looks like we might. Yeah, our maybe we just have like really insane valor, and we're just gonna kill those halberdiers with our billmen. And are they gonna push on our left? It doesn't look like it. In fact, it looks like they're kind of giving up the left, which means yeah, they're pushing the center, if anything. So let's go here and let's bring pikemen up, and then arquebusiers can kind of go here. And then guns on this side. Yeah, those billmen are in a tough spot. So if anything, let's bring these arquebusiers back here. And then go here, and then knights go here. And is that our people running or their people running? Alright, billmen, get back. If I can, try to get you guys back, because you're kind of a little bit exposed. I'd rather... yeah, they're going to get charged in the rear. Can we save them with anything? Turn around now. Yeah, turn around now. Get those knights up to kind of protect them there. Oh, and yeah, that's the Viking. Oh, didn't mean to do that. You guys chill, and then you guys go like that. Yeah, the Vikings are gonna hurt. The Vikings are gonna hurt. We can win that fight against their Royal Knights. Yeah, we can win that. And then, is that their king charging in? Feudal Knights are going there. Guns can shoot those Feudal Knights, and longbowmen shoot those Feudal Knights as well. And are we doing anything here? Alright, pikes charge into the halberdiers and try to do something there. And I feel like, I mean, chivalry knights should clean up, and the Feudal Knights should get beaten eventually. Let's transfer my other chivalric knights on over, and then left flank, continue to push, and then, ooh, billmen are, yeah, you're a bit exposed. So you can collapse in on the king here, actually, and probably have a good chance of killing him. Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah, Feudal Knights are putting in the good fight here. Chivalric Knights, you just kind of hang back. You don't need to engage yet. Actually, let's just come around here. Because I'm looking at getting a charge in on that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Getting into that blob there. Yeah, we'll see about that. Longbowmen, yeah, you just have your axes left. And do we want to commit my chivalric knights? I think so. Let's break that Viking blob. And those Royal Knights are going to possibly be running away. Let's get longbowmen into the fight here with their hatchets, because they're out of arrows. And let's get my general up to provide his stuff. And longbowmen come up as well. And there we go. The Danish king is dead. But I would imagine they're still going to fight, right? Yeah, they're not really getting that morale break for the reasons that I stated. So we are probably going to have to grind these guys out. I say that, then these guys are running away. So we'll see. Those are the reinforcement Vikings. So we will see what they want to do. But yeah, we're breaking the center there. And it looks like we're... where's the... Can't even tell where the enemy is here, but I'm sure there's some bad guys there. And let's try to reform. Let's try to reform our guys. Billman, try to get back. And center, try to get centered. Are they really going to charge us, those Vikings? Alright, if they're going to charge us, then let's just get here. And you guys go there. Right flank goes there. Left flank and keep chilling. And then Cav, get back. You get back, and then you get back as well. Vikings on this side look like they want to charge us. So are we gonna get a volley in? No, I guess not. So let's just get my arquebusiers back here. And yeah, that's fine. We can just get our chivalry knights on this side, and you guys can hit there. Pikeman claps in on those Vikings as well. And longbowmen, do I want to throw you in? Yeah, why not? Longbowmen get thrown on in. Chivalry Knights claps in on them as well. And arquebusiers, you have a shot? That's fine. I trust your shot. And I do. I trust the fire at will in this game way more. This and Shogun. The fire at will just seems very solid. Whereas like the fire at will, like they will just kill, you will just kill your own guys. And it's like, goddamn, like why did they mess that sucks, you know? It really, like why'd they mess that up? Like it's nice to, it just makes you kind of, it's that illusion, you know, that these are people and that they're choosing and picking their shots rather than just like, oh no, we'll just kill our own guys, you know? It's really unfortunate. Yeah, in Rome you have to like really, when you've routed the enemy army. Oh shit, we got some Vikings just kind of just going on a little journey here. All right, cool. Get to get our longbowmen into a fight that they don't want to be in. Yeah, that's pretty haggard. But we got pike support. Can we get our longbowmen back? Do we want to? Do we care? Do we just take the fight? I think we take the fight. We can just take that fight. What are you guys? Just as I was saying, I trust your fire at will, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys shooting at? The only thing in range is the unit that's like behind 3 of my own units. So yeah, a little suspicious there. And what do we got up here? Longbowman chasing down some dudes. Yeah, a little bit exposed. A little bit exposed. Looks like we might be getting another little bit of a charge here. Genitates are coming on in, and yeah, they got the Bavise crossbows just kind of picking off my chivalric sergeants. I don't like that. I do not like that. So let's get these guys back here so we can't get javelins tossed into us. Let's get guns. Kind of post up here. Let's take you off of skirmish mode so that you can just kind of take your shots. And then, yeah, we have longbowmen running off those Vikings on that side, and we're repositioning on this side, pushing off these Vikings and archers. Yes, yes, yes. So keep on pushing. You can go ahead there. And the center as well. Keep pushing. And who hasn't had enough? Yeah, a couple of units here. Those Bavise crossbows could probably use a good old-fashioned chivalric sergeant charge. Is that what I'm ready to do? Yeah, let's do it, because we don't really have anything else that's too threatening. I just need these arquebusiers to fend off those unités. And then, yeah, Billman can kind of post up and support there, in case they want to get a little frisky with my guns. Yeah, there we go. Just scare them off. Bavise crossbows, yeah, those shields are not going to be helping you out. And this is all just range stuff, yeah, so we can just kind of push. Yeah, we can just push at this point. Let's go ahead and get my general. Where are you? Let's get you up here, and you can charge these archers. And handgunners, we can deal with them eventually. Guns just keep on posting up against the Genitates. And again, this is where it just feels haggard, not having light cav, you know, just something to pressure their light cav just feels really bad, but there we go. Run down those handgunners there. Longbows are coming back. Those Vikings got ran off. And job's a good one. Yeah, we just have to finish pushing these guys off. Looks like we just have to kind of push off those arbalesters. And those Genitates, hopefully they break eventually, because I do not want to chase them. there we have it. Yeah, the Danes are now fleeing the field, and can't imagine that they have anywhere to go. Yeah, we got a few of those unités there, and there we go. So not bad. Yeah, Billman got a point of valor, 98 kills. Royal Knights never got in the fight, but they did capture some dudes. Arquebusiers, two men killed. Pikemen, 7 kills, 17 and 0. Arquebusiers, 20 and 14. That's okay. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I think the 2 kills might have been on the left flank. And then Chivalric Knights, 10 kills, 19 kills. Longbowmen, 45, 62. Billmen, 0, 112 and 98. Culverins, 14 and 11. Yeah, that's actually more than I thought. I thought it was going to be like 8 and 2 or some shit like that. Yeah, that's actually okay. And I'm just very curious. So yes, we have broken the siege and returned the control of the province to the Aragonese, and the Aragonese send their gratitude. You are welcome. And here we go. So this is important. So I sunk the 2 enemy boats in the North Atlantic, sunk the 1 boat here in the Irish Sea, and the North Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean, and the Spanish coast, and the Western Mediterranean, and then 1 for 1 here in the Gulf of Valencia, 1 for 0 here in the Adriatic, in the Maritime Sea, 1 for 0. I think a lot of these fights I did not actually attack. I don't think I did on some of these. 1 for 0 here. That's not bad. Will we lose 1 boat? That ain't so bad. And yeah, they did ransom back their dudes. So the king was killed outright, so we didn't get a ransom for that. I feel like I've never gotten that ransom for a king, I feel like. Yes, so 3,200. We definitely needed it. We were making 16,000 last turn, but after this naval war, it's not going to be that much. And there we go. So we did have an error somewhere that wasn't in that fight. And yeah, there we go. So Byzantines in Antioch, Byzantines in Edessa, and Inquisition City. Yeah, it's too bad. I really wish I could ally with the Italians. That would be nice, but I just can't do it. I can't, you know, I just attacked a Catholic faction, and I need the Pope on my side. All right, so dropping a save there, definitely. Yeah, that felt pretty good. So I wonder. So far, like that, you know, right off the bat, I'm not seeing any, you know, civil wars or anything with the Danes. And I'm wondering, so where's the new guy? He's here in Pomerania. Interesting. And he has 5 influence. Not bad. 16 years old. Interesting. How convenient. 16. Just came of age, eh? Okay. And yeah, 5 influence ain't bad either. Actually, speaking of influence, how's my influence? See, that doesn't make any sense. Right? It doesn't make any sense. I should have more influence now. Oh, man, the influence thing in this game is just, I don't know. I feel like there's a time where I felt like I had it figured out. I felt like it just kind of, at one point, myself and then also Count MRVHS, thanks to his observations, it seemed like that as long as you sort of had your GA objectives, then over time, influence would tick up naturally. And I felt like that I was observing the same things. So it seemed like we really had it like locked down and we really knew that that was a true thing. And then in this campaign, that has not felt true. And so now I'm back to like square one. I'm like, what does what the hell? What is this? What controls? Because this is like gaining influence by rescuing your allies in siege battles. That's like one of like the guaranteed, I'm using air quotes that you can't see. That's like one of the guaranteed bona fide ways of raising influence way back. Like that might have been in the manual. I don't know. Like manual, the strategy guide, like that was like one of the ways the examples that was used was to rescue your allies in siege battles, and you gain influence for your king. You know, whereas these other ways are kind of ways where myself and others are kind of guess and observe things and guess and think that there's something more to it that wasn't talked about in those guides, those early guides, you know, 20 plus years ago. And then something like this happens where I'm just like, okay, I don't know anything, I guess. And I suppose the simple answer is just like, well, wait a minute. Maybe you have to do this twice. Which would be ridiculous because this isn't that common of a thing anyway. You know, having an allied place, you know, go, you know, be attacked by someone else that you're in a position to rescue. It's such a kind of a niche thing, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it might happen like once per campaign, but often enough within, you know, a certain king's lifetime to actually raise his influence. It'd be pretty ridiculous if it required 2 of these or 3 of these to raise his influence, you know? That's what I'm saying. That's just kind of silly. All right, how much money am I making? Losing 11,000. Okay, oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, guys. I have $100 trillion left, so we'll see how long that lasts. And how about this? How bad is it? Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But, I mean, let's look at this then. Okay, actually, a few things. Let's look at loyalty for my guys, right? We remembered this. Did that go up? Did he have 5 before? No, he had 6 before. Okay. 5, 6, 5, 6. He had 6. I thought he had 4. He had 4 before, right? Why the hell would he have gained loyalty if my king hasn't gained any influence? Like your loyalty was fine before. All right, let's look at the guys that I know that were kind of bad. Weren't you a 2 loyalty guy before? So 4 loyalty. He was a 3 loyalty, was he not? Okay. So I'm a little confused. It really looks like at least some of my guys gained some loyalty. My king hasn't gained any influence. But we did a thing that should have gained my king influence. Ah, boy. Okay. Now, I am seeing a handful of low loyalty generals, Danish generals that is, scattered throughout their empires, so we'll see if that has an effect. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to cause a civil war, but we'll see. Let's just drop a save here and keep on moving along here. I don't intend to press the attack any further. I just wanted to save the Aragonese, you know, save my buffer, that is, save my allies, and disrupt the Danes, you know, a bit here. So yeah, we got a good couple of late game battles in. And I might still have a few more left against the Byzantines. So I don't mind just kind of burning through a couple of turns here. But again, we're going to have to go save our territories in the Levant soon here. Now the Danes are attacking the Aragonese and Aragon itself. And that is... Okay, so I do border that. So I could actually go down there and help them out there. Yes, that is an option. Okay. Remember when I just said that, you know, what are the chances of us having an opportunity to you know, save our ally multiple times in a short span of time? Well, here we are. Turns out it's just super common and I just never took advantage of it. Yeah. All right, so I did sink 2 enemy boats up here. I sunk 2 of theirs here, lost 0. I did lose 1 in that previous battle. And 2 for 1, okie dokie, 1 for 0. 0 for 2. Okay, so they got me here in the Straits of Gibraltar. 1 for 0. Okie dokie. 0 for 1. Alright. 0 for 2. Okay. 1 for 0. Okay. 1 for 0. Okay. 1 for 0. Okay. 2 for 0. Okay. 2 for 0. 2 for 0. 1 for 2. 1 for 0. 1 for 0. And... okay, that was it. Okay, yeah. The Aragonese, the king was captured and executed, but they do have an heir. Okay, so the Danes took Valencia and Aragon. So the king of Aragon potentially retreated from Valencia, but then didn't have a place to retreat to. You know, otherwise he could have just, you know, retreated into his stronghold, but he didn't. He was probably like in transit, would be my guess. And yeah, the Holy Roman Emperor is hanging on for dear life here in one province. And the Italians have been excommunicated. Yeah, all right. So let's see, 4 more turns here in Antioch and Edessa. And despite the help, the Aragonese still will not let my sons marry their daughters. Like, what gives, guys? But the Sicilians are cool. So I think that means Prince Henry is now married. Yeah, Prince Stephen was already married, but now Prince Henry is married. And we have ourselves another son on the way. Huzzah. So yeah, the Aragonese are down to their 1 province. Now we could save them here. They still have 7 men here in Aragon itself. And they have a 34-year-old 2-influence king. Oh, poor guys. Poor guys. Okay, so the thing, though, is that in Aragon, you know, by attacking the Danes, yeah, they would have to assault, and I would imagine they're going to. Do they have artillery here? They have 1 catapult with 4 crew member. I don't even know. Is that enough to man the catapult? That's all they have. Yeah, it's interesting seeing how infantry heavy, like melee infantry heavy, the Danish armies are. It's nice. It's refreshing. It's nice. Yeah, I feel like I don't see that too often. Yeah, so a little bit complicated. I was kind of in the process of thinking about getting this army retrained, and the bottom line. So let's see. Could I even? I can't get there. There's no. Yeah, because of the whole naval war thing. So I can't get there in 1 turn. I would have to move through. You are like a full army, but it's going to take you an extra turn. But I think I would rather... I think they're going to attack in this turn anyway. I don't think that, you know, fretting about it too much is going to make a difference. You know, so he'll make his way, you know, and if they attack Toulouse, they'll be on the neighborhood. Who is this? Lord Maitland? Yeah, so you'll be on the way, and you can go back to refitting your army. So let's get those guys all retrained, and then the rest of these guys as well. Oh, right. Never mind. Yeah, because we don't have control of the English Channel yet. We're working on it. We are killing Danish boats, but there's still this sneaky little boat there. All right. Yeah, let's do that. And then just for funsies, let's just get an army together. Let's just do our due diligence to get an army together. Secret Bloodlover. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, he kills prisoners even when it is not necessary, which causes discontent amongst his men. He indulges his secret passion for blood, personally executed many captives, plus 3 dread. But there's no, like, minus morale for that, which is interesting. And yet, Gentle Knight, as you know, go figure. Minus, or plus 3 morale, minus 3 dread. So that, it's just, it's funny. Anyway, yeah, you will be my general, I think. Are you my best general that's not leading an army? You're pretty good. Yeah, you're Lord Montfort, but you're the good runner. Yeah, that's such a shame. I hate that so much because you're good, like, good assault defender. So yeah, he defended that, that castle in Odessa. Yeah, but that -3 morale for running, oh, that sucks. It sucks because that was such a good battle, you know? Okay, so the Danes are attacking me in Aquitaine. Interesting. Well, I do have that army in Anjou, so they are there that can respond to that. And did the Danes not... What do we get? We got an enemy... Assassin killed an emissary. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it. And Aquitaine. So yeah, we're just going to be retreating. Retreat to the stronghold here. What do they have? So PVS crossbows, handgunners, arbalesters, Vikings, feudal men-at-arms, halberdiers, royal knights, step heavy cav, and feudal sergeants. Interesting. 1-star general, which is going to be that step heavy cav. And yeah, they will not be able to take that fortress for sure. And the papacy is retreating from the Italians in Genoa. And they're also retreating from the Italians in Venice. Okay. And Tuscany. Goddamn. All right. Italians are just going in. And yeah, so we lost a boat here in the Baltic Sea. 2-0 here in the Bay of Biscay. 0-2. 2-0. 1-2. 1-0. Oh yeah, that's that Dromon. Yeah, we got that Dromon. Nice. And we got that Danish boat here in the Nile coast. And the Germans are happy. Good for them. And then, yeah, three turns. Or before the Byzantine, or yeah, before those fortifications give up. So I think that it's time now. And yeah, we have our, that's an awesome picture right there. The siege cannon towers here in Palestine looking pretty badass. And yeah, it's probably time. The Byzantines just will not attack us, even, you know, with having barely anything. 72 men defending. And I guess it's going to take 2 turns now before it falls. So yeah, let's go up here. 1 turn to recapture Antioch, and then a 2nd turn to save Odessa. Yeah, we'll see if they stand and fight. I don't know if they will. 281 and then 371. It's something. I mean, it's pretty haggard, but it's something. They have a 3-star general who is captured. Okay, so -1 command, but +3 morale. All right, that's a little bit tricky. Yeah, it's going to make his men fight a bit harder, but still, my armies are better than theirs, so I reckon we could win that one if they do stand and fight. Hey, look at this heavyweight fight up here in the North Atlantic. This is going to be, you know, I probably shouldn't take this fight. 2-star admiral against 5 caravels, and then in a separate fleet, they do have just 1 bark here. 0-star admiral. I have my 3 carracks and 2 barks, 2-star admiral, so they would outnumber me. And I just have the 3 good boats and the 2 bad boats. They have 2 boats. I'm curious. I want to know. I want to know what happens. So let's find out. Now, again, just for curiosity's sake, I do want to see if the Danes are going to maybe attack my fortress here. My fortress with culverin towers here in Aquitaine. You know, if they're anything like the Byzantines, I kind of doubt it, but, you know, I still want to test this out. With that being said, I have to be smart about this. So let's go ahead and get my king and his sons back here to Normandy so that they can, you know, be away from the front lines, as it were. And yeah, we'll just kind of hang out here. And they might reinforce, you know, they might bring in more guys from Aragon. They got a lot of guys here in the Iberian Peninsula, so they could pour right on in. but I mean, our boats are doing a lot of damage to their boats. I have this stack here which can't quite cross the English Channel right now because I got to get rid of this Danish boat. If we can finally clear the English Channel, we can bring that army on over. And then maybe bring some troops on over to get retrained here. And I can always put together more armies as well as we need them. So we'll see if the Byzantines want to take that fight, and we will see if the Danes want to assault Aquitaine. So let's go ahead and drop it in the save and keep it moving along here. And the Byzantines are going to be retreating here from Antioch. Kind of expected that. And let's see, the Italians are going to be retreating from the papacy in Genoa. And the papacy are going to be retreating from the Italians in Milan. A little bit of back and forth up there. And, ooh, okay, so that did not go in my favor. Wow. I lost 5 boats. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So they lost 2. And it looks like I don't know if that included the bark. I don't know if that bark got involved. That means that they at least have 4 caravels left up there, which is, yeah, okay. Well, we have some cogs here in Skagerrak, so yeah, they can come on over. We have some cogs here in the North Sea as well. And yeah, we finally cleared up the English Channel. As long as another Danish boats move on in, we can bring that stack in, which is going to be necessary because of that. Yeah, I'm going to need some more troops in Western Europe. All right, 1 for 2. Yeah, 1 for 2, and that was that. All right, so we're going to be coming in here and saving Edessa. And yeah, so this would be lasting for another 6 years, 6 turns. And, you know, God, that's a lot. They're really bringing it in. So that's 5 stacks right there, plus another 2 right there. That's 7 stacks versus my kind of 1, 2, almost 2. Yeah, there we go. So let's bring this stack on over for sure. And probably, if I can, let's just take a looky here and see what else I want to bring on over. Oh, right. And of course, we can't move anything over from Ireland because, yeah, we are blockaded here. Well, we have a big old fleet here in the Irish Sea, so we can fight these boats, but it is going to take 2 turns to get rid of at least these 2 boats here, so let's get to it. And in the meantime, let's just kind of hold. And they can't, I mean, sure, they might bring in these stacks into Aquitaine, or they might attack Toulouse. You know, they might keep going after the Aragonese. Guess we'll find out here. And I want to check my king. Did you gain any influence? No, but I wonder if that's from losing that territory, maybe. And we can find ourselves another governor of Antioch. Probably should find someone really good, but I'm probably just gonna find the first person that smiles at me. Yeah, like that Serpentine crew. There you go. You guys can be the new governors of Antioch until a further notice. Until I want to spend more time on this. Income only making 978. That's mostly just due to not having trade, really. Yet another reason to not spend too much time on this. And as far as you guys, yeah, you're going to be the garrison, your garrison, and there's going to be a garrison archer somewhere. There you are. All right, now let's go ahead here and relieve the siege in Edessa. Okay, and the Danes are attacking Brittany as well. Well, I have armies there, so I can defend Brittany. Yeah, they've decided to retreat. And I had just brought over that stack from Wessex, I think. So maybe they weren't expecting that. And the Byzantines are going to be retreating here from Edessa as well. Okie dokie. So yeah, we sunk one of those Danish boats here in the Irish Sea. And yeah, we lost the one. I brought over some reinforcements, but they did not arrive in time. And then 1 for 1 here in the Western Mediterranean. 1 for 0, 1 for 0, 2 for 0. All right. And yeah, the Danes are still strong. I mean, yeah, they are. For sure. And they've been excommunicated. Take that, Danes. Yeah, take that. And I'm curious now because it, let's see, caught enemy assassins here. No, it's just gonna go through this. Spy, fucking, goddamn it, not moving my agents from my own territories, which kind of belong to the Danes. Alright, another sun on the way. And anything notable? Okay, not really. And so what, so the thing, trying to remember, maybe some of y'all can help jog my memory, because I did determine that I did find the answer to this earlier in this campaign a while ago. When the Poles existed, remember way back when? And I was using my Inquisitors to sort of, destabilize their regions. And I thought that I had determined the exact effect that the Inquisitors were having on the Polish territories. Sorry, no, let me say that differently. Not the exact effect that my Inquisitors were having. I know what they do, but the exact effect that the excommunication has, because it doesn't directly lower loyalty. I've established that through observation, through many campaigns. Excommunication does not directly lower loyalty, from what I've observed. But didn't I observe something earlier in this campaign? Does the excommunication lower piety? Oh, first guy I click on, it's your piety. That's the king, so that's that. No piety. It is that, isn't it? It's the piety thing. That's the issue. Yeah, the excommunication, it doesn't lower loyalty, it just lowers the piety. Right, okay. So that's... So I don't think I... So scratch that. I don't think I need you to tell me anymore. I feel like I've established it. Yeah. Some of them still have some piety, but it's not much. So that means that, I mean, I still have Inquisitors in these territories. They've just been... I had nowhere else to put them, so they've just been here the whole time. And that's going to mean, like, Zeal? Why is Zeal 0%? Must be because he just recently killed a lot of people? Alright, let's check this. 32%, 0%. Okay, Zeal's not that high in these places. But it does mean that it makes these guys easier to kill. Right, that's that right. Because piety is one of the things that guards generals against Inquisitors. So the Zeal's not that high. Okay, well I have 2 Inquisitors here in Denmark, so we have 53% there. And then, yeah, 63% here in Norway for some reason. What do we got down here? Okay, yeah, 84%. 71%, 80, okay, so it's much higher down here in Iberia. How about North Africa? Not too bad. 25, 50, 54 here in Cyrenaica, okay. 48, 0, and then 0 in Arabia. Interesting. Well, yeah, no Inquisitors, I suppose. Egypt has 2, yeah, okay. Okay, so that's probably what I want to do next. I've been kind of, we're going to be honest here, I've been softballing the Danes. Kind of taking it easy on them. And I would say that it's time to take the gloves off because they're, well, I mean, look at them. They're kind of looking scary. So I think that my Inquisitors can go to work burning their generals alive, the stake, and that is going to cause some issues. Now, is the excommunication to cause any issues as well? I mean, the guys are looking pretty loyal, honestly. Oh, I say that. Look at that guy. Overall, though, I'm not seeing any immediate issue. Oh, there's another one loyalty guy. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a civil war here, but I don't know if that's going to be the immediate answer. But really, you know, when we kill these generals, and these generals are, sorry, these governors, and these governors, you know, are giving dread benefits to their provinces and other stuff as well. You know, acumen is helping out. So that will cause some issues for them. And where is their guy? So he got his influence back really quickly. In just 4 turns, he went from like 5 up to, what, 8 influence? God damn, dude. All right, so yes, as I was saying, it's time to take the gloves off. I gotta really take the Danes seriously here because they are pressing. And while I do think that I can probably hold them if they were to attack Brittany, at least for now, I would like to take Aquitaine back. But then again, man, I have to say, I am bummed that the AI is not attacking my fortresses. I mean, the thing is, okay, so there's been, I've had a viewer here on this channel going way back to when I first started playing Medieval 1 on this channel, and he still pops his, I don't know if he follows all my campaigns these days, but he pops his head in from time to time and you know, gives me, you know, encouragement and tips and whatnot, and he's probably one of the most knowledgeable people about this game that I've met on this channel, and he's one of the people that have talked about this strategy, this idea of playing the game where, yeah, you can kind of, you know, have the AI attack your fortifications and build up cool fortifications. And I'm trying to remember, this is going way, way back, but I want to say that a long time ago, he did try to talk me into playing on hard difficulty rather than very hard difficulty. And I can't remember the exact reasons. I think he was trying to say that, you know, it's not that big of a difference when it comes to AI competence. It's just kind of like diplomatic ire. You know, you really draw the diplomatic ire of the factions more so in very hard difficulty. I don't want to, I shouldn't be, it's been so long, I can't quite remember what his argument was. I know you get less starting money at the beginning at very hard difficulty, but anyway, it's things like that that make me wonder. I wonder if the difficulty level has something to do with the AI not attacking me in these situations. Because again, I was just looking up on the forums just not long ago, like a couple of days ago, and I was reading about gun towers because I know that there's this question being asked because someone was like, my gun towers aren't firing. So they were talking about that, and they were talking about how their favorite thing to do is to hold the East against the Mongols and to have these big epic siege battles against the Mongols. And maybe that's different because the Mongols have, you know, like 20 stacks in a province or 10 stacks in a province, something like that, something like, you know, insane. But man, I'm not noticing, you know, like what, I'm not getting those fights. I'm not getting those siege battle assaults other than in Odessa. And so I wonder, I'm really curious. It's going to last for 4 turns, and this is 3 Danish stacks. You would think if it was a numbers thing, you would think that this would be enough to make them confident. 2 artillery pieces isn't much. They have a bombard. Oh, they have a trebuchet. All right, a bombard to 3 crewmen, so that's not probably going to be effective, but yeah, all right. And then what about in Toulouse? Toulouse, they have 2 stacks. They have a trebuchet, a catapult, a mangonel, shit, and a catapult. Yeah, they're gonna get in. That's a citadel. Yeah, I don't know if the Aragonese are gonna be able to hold out against the. I could try to rescue them. My 1 stack versus their 2, but they could just reinforce from Aquitaine. Or you know, Aragon for that matter. Yeah, that's going to be a bit tricky. The Aragonese might just have to get let go, which is a shame, but that might be what happens here. But before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Concept playing Medieval to the War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.